Hello, hello, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully your week's going well. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator here in Canada. So if you're looking for a demo to help you out in Canada, give me a shout and I'm always here to help. We are on episode 61. For those of you who are new, this is a series that I started during the pandemic, just to kind of keep people crafting, keep myself crafting. It has been a total happy place for me. I love creating for these lives, so hopefully you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy preparing them. And since I spend time preparing them, and if you like watching them, I would love it if you can share the video with your friends. There should be a button that comes up when you pop on, and you can just hit the share. Hi, Yolande. Nice to see you. Glad you made it this week. Not as busy this week. So we're going to be looking today at the white frayed ribbon. I think everybody should have white ribbon in their craft stash, no matter what kind of crafter you are. There's so many things you can do with white ribbon, and this one is especially fun. So I'm going to show you a few projects. Oh, hi, Mom. And yeah, we'll play with the ribbon, and I'm also playing with a few other items from the mini catalog. And so for those of you who don't know, we are into the new, oopsie, I've been through my catalog so much it's falling apart already. We're in the mini January to June catalog, so in my mind the spring catalog, and we're also celebrating Celebration right now, so freebies up until the end of February. So let's get started. Let me turn you guys around. And as usual, I forgot to make sure the volume was there, and hopefully I feel like my stand is about to fall over. Hang on, I think I have too many things under it as I make you guys seasick. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that works. All right, let me try and find the video so I can see comments again. There we go. Okay, we're looking good. So the white frayed ribbon can be found. It just said it was interrupted. I hope, hopefully we're not having technical difficulties. Let me know if there's anything on your guys' end. I don't know anymore. My iPad has been acting funny. So it's under the Artfully Composed suite. Sorry, I keep trying to read the comments. Distracts me. And it is here. So it's $10.25. Okay, what's going on? It keeps telling me it's interrupted, but I think it's on my iPad, not. I don't know what's wrong with my iPad. So it's $10.25. You get 10 yards of it. This is the spool. So it's quite a thick ribbon. I think it's about an inch, just under an inch. But you'll see, even though it's an inch wide, you're not limited to using it as an inch wide. It's very easy to make it into pretty much any width with less than, not more than, obviously, to use. So video is good. Well, it's frozen on my end, so hopefully the comments will keep coming in. I just won't know what you're seeing. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. So, yeah, and if you can't find the ribbon easily if you don't remember which suite it's in, you can always go to the back of the catalog where there's an index, and it has a whole section of the ribbon, and so you can find it there on page 87 if you're having troubles locating it. Okay, so for our first project, we're going to be making a bumblebee card. And it is the cutest thing you've ever seen. I'm just going to be using the ribbon as is on this one. So this is more showing you how to create the bee from the cute ladybug. So we have this ladybug bundle right now. I'm simply just using the punch. I love punches. And this this bee, this brilliant bee, came from Cindy Westerink. I had seen several bees before, and oh, hi Marcy, glad you're here. It's been a while. So anyways, I had been contemplating making these bees by cutting pieces of yellow and cutting all sorts of things, and then I saw this demonstrator do her bee, and I was like, oh, how brilliant. So if you have any black and white striped designer series paper, or you could even make black and white, it's not necessary, but usually you have it in the stash. And this one comes from the stack of paper that you can get when you host a party. It's one of the hostess items that you can choose. It is called Pattern Party DSP. So on one side, there's all sorts of colored patterns, and then on the other side, they're all black and white patterns. So it's kind of cool. So that's where this paper's from. There's lots of other black and white papers. So first, I'm going to cut my, it's supposedly ladybug body, but for this purpose, it's a bee body. And then you just want to cut his body, her body, whoever's body, and you want to line up so that the edge of your paper is kind of at the neck of the body. So you're just cutting out the body part. So you've got these two pieces, and I forgot to take out a piece of scrap paper. Let me just grab a smaller piece here. I've got a really dirty used one, but we'll use a nice clean one, and you can see it better too. So there's our two pieces. Then I've got my Daffodil Delight blends. You're gonna see that my blends are a little bit wrecked. I actually have to order new ones of these because I was silly enough to color my white embossing powdered stuff, and this is what happens to your tip when you do. It doesn't look like it when you're doing it, so I thought, oh, this is fine. Well, guess what? It did. It still colors, it's just that kind of that tip part is dead. I've been contemplating cutting it off, but I'm a little chicken to do that. So maybe when I get my new one, maybe I'll try trimming this tip and see if that helps. Oh my gosh, I don't know what my iPad is doing. It must be what Yolande's was doing, because you always said that it was cutting in and out, and mine seems to be doing that now. And it's done it for the past few weeks. So that's all the light one, and then I'm going to take the dark one, and I'm just going to come in, and I'm not going to go all the way to the center. So we're just kind of shadowing to try and give him a more rounded body look. And then we'll go back with our light. We'll kind of blend it together. And I don't know if you can pick it up on the video, but the little hearts from behind are kind of popping through, but by the time we put the wings on, it won't really be much of an issue. So it'll be fine. There. Okay, so we've got our bumblebee body. Then we need some wings. So for the wings, if you take some vellum, because bees' wings are kind of that clear look. So I just took some vellum, and then brilliant Cindy, she did some Wink of Stella. And if you put some Wink of Stella onto the wings, oh, you get such a beautiful sparkle. Those sparkly wings. Oh, they're so cute. Just a note, you're gonna have to dry these, so either speed it up with a heat tool, or you can let it dry, set it aside and let it dry. Just speed it up a little. They do, if you don't dry them with your heat tool, they do start to curl, but that's okay. I don't think they're fully dry, so I'll just, can you see the sparkle? Isn't that cool? Okay, so then, to put the wings, here, let me just put this, I'm hoping, and now it's telling me my broadcast is cut. No, it still looks okay. All right, well, I can't see comments though because my thing is frozen. I'm gonna have to do something about that. Maybe I'll have to turn on my, oh, it's back. Turn on my computer or something. I don't know why. So you just have to line it up and put your body on. And then for the wings, what you can do is you can either put the glue along the wings, or what I prefer to do is to put it here just because there's more room. And you really just want to put a small line. This is even more than I probably would. And then I don't know if you guys play with this multi-purpose glue a lot, but if you let it dry, it dries clear, but it dries tacky. So I'm just going to let it dry a bit until it's clear and tacky, and then I'll stick the wings on so then it doesn't show that line on the wings. So I'm just going to set these aside here. So then what I did, we have this Hive embossing folder that is in, oh, I forgot to mark this one. It's part of the, it's a B, I can't remember what it's called. Brain's not working. Oh, it's this one. So it's part of this whole suite here. It's here, so it's part of the Heart and Home suite if you miss it. So then I will show you. So here's my ribbon that I put on. I just put it straight on as just a simple way to use your ribbon, and then I stamped the Hello Friend with the Biggest Wish greetings from the annual catalog. This is the Stitched So Sweetly, Stitched So Sweetly label. And then here's the Hive. So this is the bumblebee paper, and then the contour dies. And then you could just cut out with those new, the hexagon dies that we have in the mini, or this was actually from the pack, what's it called? Expressions in Ink Ephemera pack. So there's some hexagon pieces, and that was just the middle piece. So I just used that piece, and I popped up both that piece and the little bumblebee. Isn't it so cute? So not only do you have a cute ladybug if you get the set, but you can also have super cute bumblebees. So you can kind of see it's gotten clear. Excuse me, and then you can just stick them on. So it's still a little bit wet. You can see it a little bit, but you can see on here that it was dry and it doesn't show through that way. So you could have your little bumblebees. Okay, so that's the easy peasy simple way of using this white ribbon. Next, I wanted to show you, if you, say cut a piece of the ribbon. And then I'm going to take, yes, I did. Don't you love it, Marcy? Do you have that bundle? I love it. It's so cute. I never was huge on the cutesy stamp sets, but there's been so many cute ones and they're fun to play with. I love it when they have a punch and you don't even have to deal with the dies. So you could put this all the way around. I'm just putting a piece of tear and tape at the bottom just so I know that it's not going to tear all the way off when I do this. So the cool thing with this ribbon is you can take the edge of it and you can start pulling and it comes off and it becomes this beautiful corded frayed string that you can use for a project. But it also makes a really nice kind of tassel-y look with the rest of it. So you can just keep pulling, keep going, and it pulls as simple as this. Isn't that awesome? And then you've got like this kind of fun phrase. So you could let it go all the way and use this as a bunch of fun, like you could, obviously you'd need a longer piece. Or the way I kept it, I just kept it all together and then I used it behind my project. So I'm just going to cut this cord off here. And then we've got our tassel pieces. And then we've got a nice cord that we can use. I actually used that in the last project. So we'll just set that aside. And then I took, so we've got this, so part of Celebration, which is here, we have this cute Friendly Hello bundle. So it's for when you spend $120, you can get this fun bundle. It's got the nice bird and the flowers, and it's got matching designer series paper that comes with it. So I used this. I hadn't played with it yet. So I took the bird and the flowers, and it's as simple as just stamping it with some Memento. And actually it's funny because I thought I was going to color it with blends, and then I decided that I was going to watercolor it because I wanted to use Pacific Point, and there is no Pacific Point blend. So normally they say not to use Memento with watercolor because it'll bleed, but I did and it didn't bleed at all. So we'll see if I can get away with it again today, because I don't like to use the StazOn ink on the photopolymer just because it stains it so much. So I prefer to use Memento when I can, but you can see I had re-inked my Memento and it's got a bit of a blob, so I'm just gonna heat it up here. Okay, so hopefully that is dried, and we will go for the, so here are my colors. I've got Pacific Point and Pool Party, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight, and I took those colors from the paper, which I should probably, I meant to show. I hadn't opened it yet, so I hadn't really looked at it. It's got some fun, this reminds me kind of the Hawaiian prints that you get, but then it has the nice stripes. It's got this nice floral with the bird, and then it has a nice blue floral, another blue with some more of the green, and then it's got some nice fresh freesia, And I think this is Pale Papaya. It's got the really nice soft colors. I really like them. Let's just pull this out. So then, you know, nice soft florals and some dots. And those ones I've already showed you. So just this one with the nice splatter. So yeah, some fun paper, especially when it's free. I mean, really, you're not spending more than you would have, and you're getting it for free. So, okay, let's try this Pacific Point. I wanted to make a, I don't even know if it's a proper bluebird or not. I put blue on the back and then yellow on his belly. Where did I put that? There it is. And then I've discovered that the chamois is a good place to wipe off your water painter. It really gets rid of the ink quite effectively. So let's come in here. Oh, my iPad's like gonna give me a seizure. Keeps freezing in and out. It's like, so you can see it's not bleeding. Now, I'm not putting a huge, obviously I'm not going to go over it a gazillion times like you would with proper watercoloring when you were really trying to get a certain look and some shading and that kind of stuff. I was just adding color. So for my purposes, Memento ink and a little bit of watercolor go perfectly fine. Then, yeah, and I'm not really coloring the lines a lot either. So, there we go. Isn't he cute? I like this bird for some reason. I'm not really big on birds usually, but he's a cute bird. And then I colored the flowers and everything. I'm not going to bore you with that. And then, look at me, I fussy cut them. Yes, I did. So I cut, using the layering circles, I cut out some more of the designer series paper from that, and then this is the designer series paper as well. The layering circles has this little scalloped edge, so I did that in basic white. I cut this out and then I plopped them on top of the two bigger flowers. They kind of fit perfectly. And then I embossed Hope You Have the Best Birthday, and that's from the stamp set as well. So it's all this friendly hello, and here you can see my frayed fun edge. So there's another fun way to use the white frayed ribbon. Okay, this next one I hope you love as much as I do. It is like the wow of the wow. Okay, so I'm gonna take a piece. We'll take a piece, not too big. Actually, I'm gonna measure it just so I don't waste too much of it. I'm gonna be using these little mason jars. They're out of the annual catalog, and I just want to wrap it around, so like so maybe, and then obviously this is much too wide for the jar, so I want about half of this, so I'm gonna cut it in half, and I think I showed this part in my catalog launch or at some point. I feel like I remember doing this on camera. It might have been for club, I can't remember. So anyways, you're just gonna take and start pulling a few, because you see how like it's already got a frayed edge on the bottom, so when you go and you cut this top part, you want to fray the edge a little bit too, so that it looks kind of similar. I don't want to fray too much, but yeah, so similar look. So that's all you have to do. So now the other bonus to having white white ribbon is you can turn it, not only does it match anything, but you can also color it and turn it into any color you want. So if you have blends, blends are the best thing for coloring ribbon, or you can dye it with our reinkers, but that takes a lot of work because you have to put it in water and dye it and then keep dyeing it till you have the right color and then dry it and all that stuff. Whereas if you've got our markers, all you have to do is go along and color it. Now, the one thing I learned doing this project was you don't want to put it on right away because you need to let it dry. It doesn't take that long to dry, but I actually colored it on the jar because I forgot. And well, I guess I kind of changed my mind as I was going. And so it bled onto my paper. So I'm just checking to make sure I've got it colored through. So I'm just going to set that aside. And then, like I said before, I'm also going to use a piece of this string. I don't need all of it. I just needed enough to tie a bow. So maybe that much. And then I'm going to color this too so that it matches. This one's a little bit more difficult. Actually, it might be easier if you color your ribbon first and then pull the cord off, but it's not too bad. I feel very uncoordinated today, which isn't good. I don't know if I told people, I've been doing vision therapy. I have a eye that is lazy, and I have my recheck today, so see how it goes with my eyes not working that great. My nice bit. So make sure your hands are clean as you go, because otherwise you'll go to put it on your paper and then everything will be pink. So I'm just using a wipe to try and, I mean, obviously my hands are still pinkish, but okay, so your ribbon is drying. I have my jar. Next, I punched out, I don't know if you've noticed, we have the flowering tulips in the mini catalog, and I've punched out all these little pieces of tulips, and all these pieces make 3 tulips. And I decided to use them and to punch them out because I went to do it for a card the other day, and I sat here and I was like, how do I make a tulip out of this? And I was like, I don't know. And actually, when my oldest was here at Christmas time, he had taken them. He was the first, I hadn't used them yet. He took them and he made his girlfriend a birthday card with them. And somehow he figured out how to put it together, the smarty pants. But I sat here and I was like trying to, I thought maybe this was like 2 flowers, and I was trying to stack them kind of one-dimensionally, but really if you look close enough, they've got little folds in them. So this I cut out of the shimmery paper, and the reason I did that was because I wanted to watercolor them just so that they get more of a varied color look. I don't like the solid color because, you know, flowers aren't a solid color, and shimmery white is fairly forgiving with water, not as forgiving as what a watercolor paper would be, but still fairly forgiving. So I'm just going to give them a quick wash. Let's make sure the white is not. This is one of the first catalogs that every time I look through, I see something new that catches my eye. And it was funny, the other day I was talking to my mother-in-law who does this as well. And she's like, oh, I've been waffling on this one. And I was like, oh yeah. And I thought I knew what she was talking about, but I was thinking about daffodils, and she was talking about dahlias. And then she told me what page, and it's like, I'd been looking at the page next to it at something up, like contemplating getting a different one. And I saw that one, I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. Like, there's so much in the catalog. You don't even notice half the stuff. So that's what I'm here for, to make you notice it. If you didn't notice the tulips, these are really fun. Okay, so there's my watercolored. And then all you have to do, here, I'll just give them a quick little, hopefully they don't go flying everywhere. I like the shine that it gets too with the shimmery paper. It's pretty. Okay, let's not lose pieces. So I'll just show you quickly how to put these together so that you know if you ever get them. So this is the smallest, and I always try to put it backwards. So it doesn't go this way, it actually goes this way, where you can kind of see that that looks like a nice closed tulip. So there's three, oh, I painted the wrong side of this one. Shoot. So there's a right side and a wrong side just because it has the embossed. It's just a nicer look. Anyways, it doesn't really show, you just stick it in there. So all I do is I put a little bit of adhesive. Now, see, I'm about to put it upside down again. I'm very talented. Okay, so there we go. And then to close it, what I like to do is I like to take, I don't know if I have, I'll just use black, I think. All my white ones are just pieces. Okay, so just take a dimensional, and then I put the small side down and I just stick this down, and then it kind of holds it, but it still lets it pop so that it's got some nice dimension to it. So then the next one is this one, and you just fold, oh, see, brain fart, water painter. So the good thing with being silly, and you know what, it might not be, because once you put the other piece in, okay, I'm just trying to remember, this one goes in here. So this one doesn't have to be colored, but this one probably should, just to avoid some white. So we'll just add a bit of pink here. Just so we don't have the white sticking out. Okay, so again, we'll add some adhesive, and you kind of want to, oops, have it closed a little. I don't know if it'll stick since it's wet, but we'll try. Oh yeah. And then again, you can just put one dimensional on the bigger portion here. Oh, I think I turned over the white dimensional piece. It stuck. Okay, so that's your other tulip. And then you've got this third one. So again, so maybe you guys are all smarter than me, but definitely took me a bit to figure it out. So thought it'd be, so you can pop this up twice to get the dimension, but if the way I would do it is you put you can put one or two depending on how popped up you want it. So for this piece, I put it on the top so that the dimensionals are on the top, and then at the bottom again, you want to seal this little piece down. So just put your dimensionals lower so that it's, you can even put it low enough that it pins the other one down, and then it's not hitting these two dimensionals. So they're all just kind of one dimensional high instead of two. So those are your tulips. Then we will take our white piece here and punch. Here's my punch. Jar punch. I hope you guys aren't commenting because I'm not seeing any comments. My iPad seems to be working. Oh, it wasn't showing. Is the ribbon thick enough to stamp directly on the ribbon to have a picture? It's, yeah, a thinner one. It's just under an inch thick. So it is pretty thick. You could definitely stamp a sentiment. I don't know how well, you know what, I'll try, yes, I am here to enable you to spend money. That's my job. Okay, so then we've got this jar punch. This is out of the annual catalog, and all I did was punch it, and I don't know if you guys know this trick. If your punches have like a funny edge or it's sticking anywhere, if you take a bunch of tin foil and put it in and punch it a bunch of times through the foil, it actually sharpens those edges and takes away any kind of rough edges. So don't give up on your punch if it gets finicky on you. So then what I did, I'm going to put this, what's it called? I showed this last week. Layering Designs vellum. It's in the mini catalog. I'm going to have this as part of my jar. And the reason I'm putting it here is because I'm going to take my stems, and actually I kind of did this differently the last time. I forgot, and I had already put my jar in, so I couldn't pre-stamp, but I think I might not pre-stamp because I ended up making them much longer by stamping on here separately. So here we go. Where's my memento? I don't push stuff far enough away when I'm done. When I run out of room. Okay, so there's this little lip at the top. And that's the top of the stem. And then like that. I wish they had, well, I probably could aim the stem a different way, but I left it all the same because you can reposition your stamps. Like I could try and curl it so that it's straight. I could curl it so that it's this way. And then if you want it to go back to the way it's supposed to be, just take it off, let it go. Oops. Let it do what it wants to do, and then pick it back up, and then it'll be back to normal. Okay, so then you can add your little tulips. This isn't closed enough for my taste. Maybe I should have put some adhesive at the bottom here. And I might want to add a little bit more pink there. So there's my jar of tulips. So now for this part, I think, so I just kind of eyeballed it and it worked out. Actually, look at that. Ta-ha. I shouldn't have moved it and I would have been, here you go. I just found the perfect solution. I don't know why. Yeah, that's true. You can use tinfoil to sharpen any blade. So I don't want this top of the stem to show. But my whole piece isn't all going to show, so I'm just going to go like that. That. Woo. And because I'm using Memento, again, Stays On would be the better one to use, but I don't like to, especially during videos, because I can't really take the time to clean it. So all I do is I take the time and I dry it, and because it's going to be inside of the jar dome, I'm not too worried about it getting super smudged. But if you have the time and you want to use Stays On, that would be better. If you don't want to use Stays On, I would let this sit, and I don't know if it ever dries fully, but like I said, because it's not going to be touched, so you can see some of it comes off. I'm just getting the bulk of it off. I'm not too worried about that. So next, I've got some of these frosted beads. These are from the Gumball bundle, I guess, for lack of better words. Now, before I put my jar in here, I almost forgot, I need my little ribbon. So I'm going to put some adhesive here just to get it stuck. And actually I'll put it this way, looks nicer. And then when you peel, and actually I'm going to stick this in here. And then I'm going to take this off. This jar has two sides of adhesive on it. So this is the front side. And then I'm going to stick my ribbon down. Seems pretty dry. And then we have to bring this through. And then I'll stick it down like so. Okay, so we've got our jar. And then we're going to put some glass beads that we'll pretend they're glass beads like you see in vases. We'll just use blue. Maybe some white too. Oops, not green. No green. I don't think there is white. I think it's just a light pink. Oh, it is. Pink wouldn't be bad with this. We'll just go blue. We'll go for water. Okay, I'm not going to bore you guys. This will be like painful. So then I would take off this strip, and then I would lift it up as high so I could see it, and then try and line up my stems as best I can, like so. So they pretty much look like they line up. It's pretty easy to do. And then you'd have your tulips. Let me show you the finished. So this looks funny. It still doesn't look like water. So what I did, you can color the back of the vellum with your blends, or you can just put a piece of colored cardstock and get the same effect. So here's the finished, here's our string. I cut this with the tailored tag, and I don't know if you guys know, like you can shorten these, you can lengthen them and you can shorten them just depending how you cut them. So I shortened this tag so it just fit, it looks better with the size of the sentiment. It hangs off my card a little bit, but that's okay. Isn't it pretty? I love this one. And here's the blue beads. So yeah, that those are my 3 projects today. So remember, white ribbon, and pretty much any white ribbon you can color with our blends. This one is good because you can adjust the width, you can adjust the, you can fray it, you can do whatever. Let me just, for Marcy's question, let's try and see if we can stamp on it. Let me see if I have a good stamp that fits it well. This one might. Does this fit? I want to close. Let's try that. I never bore you. It's not boring watching somebody pick out beads. I usually try to skip the stuff I feel like it's like taking forever. I have very little patience though, so I feel like I'm boring you. Maybe you guys are more patient than I am. Okay, should we try this with Memento ink or with more of an inky ink? Let's try both. I don't know why I have to tap on my screen for me to see the comments. Like, it's time for a new iPad. Okay, I'm gonna stand above my camera. Or maybe I'll try updating it. Sometimes that solves the problem. Okay, we'll let the ink soak in. So that's the other thing, is whenever you're stamping, even on paper, if you want to make sure you have a good stamp, just hold it down. Oh, it does. It's a nice, it's very nice. Look at that. So it's a good width to stamp on as well. Ooh, all sorts of ideas. Yeah, you tell him, Yolande. Actually, he knows. I asked for a new, I have the keyboard for my iPad that I use all the time and it died on me, or I thought it was the keyboard. It might be the iPad, and so I was disappointed at Christmas when I didn't get it. And he's like, but your iPad's dying. And it's like, oh yeah. Okay, I will try using the polished pink with the same stamp, and then we can see the difference. So this ribbon was actually back ordered and not available to order, but it went back in stock yesterday because I had it on my list and I hadn't put my order in yet, and I was glad to see it was back. So if you don't have some and you want some of this one, make sure you get on it. Yeah, it's just as good. Now, you'd obviously, as long as you let it dry, I mean, obviously you couldn't wash this, right? Like you wouldn't want to put it on something but on a card, it's fine. And Memento too will wash. You'd have to use stays on if you wanted something permanent, but it totally works. So yeah, fun stuff. The things I don't think of. Thanks, Marcy. That was a good question, because now I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, you could decorate gifts with stamped ribbon. Totally. Good idea. Post your pictures whenever you do stuff like that. All right, that is all I have, and I have an appointment right away here, so I better run. But hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week, and we will see you next Wednesday. All right, take care. Bye.